Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take.
Welcome to the FL4K pack. It's Termax here, and welcome back to another Borderlands 3 build video. And today I want to show you my Lyuda flak build, because as of yesterday, which was the 20th of August, I think it's August, I'm pretty sure I know what month it is, sorry, quarantine's kind of throwing me off here, but there's an update where they buffed the Lyuda's damage, and I wanted to test it out. I wanted to see if the Lyuda was even a viable option anymore. And I've been seeing a lot of people, some people think it's the best thing in the world, a lot of people think it's not even noticeable, but I'm here to tell you it is noticeable. And I think in the future there's going to be another buff, because it's having a lot of talk in the community right now. So if you're watching this in the future, do not worry, because this is made to future proof for the Lyuda. Nothing will really change at all. This is all for the Lyuda's damage. So as always, guys, you've been killing it recently. Thank you guys for 4,000 subscribers. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like on it, subscribe if you're new to the channel and want to join the FL4K pack, and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any future Mayhem 10 build videos. But let's get right into the skill tree. Alright, starting into the Hunter skill tree, we have 5 out of 5 in the Interplanetary Stalker. This is going to give us our extra gun damage. 3 points into Leave No Trace. Now, this is one of the crucial parts of this build, because magazine size is where the Lyuda kind of suffers from, and having this 36% chance, with the Lyudas we use, we are shooting out 3 projectiles per shot, so one projectile that procs this 30% chance is going to give us our ammo back. And let's say 2 out of the 3 projectiles that we shot gets our ammo back into the mag. We're actually going to be regenerating ammo if we hit enough critical hits with this. 5 points in a Hunter's Eye, so we get that extra critical hit damage against humans, the armor damage against robots, which is very good for the Maliwan takedown, and damage reduction against beasts, which is mainly good for slaughter shaft defense and all that type of stuff. 3 points in the head count, which will give us a 30% chance to reduce a cooldown time on our action skill every time we hit a critical hit. 5 points in the Two Fang. Now, this is going to be really debated upon, but for the Lyuda, it is worth it. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The Lyuda with Two Fang is worth it, and I'm going to show you why. Now, I have this Fire Lyuda that is ×1. Sorry, I was on the wrong Lyuda. This Molten Lyuda is ×1, and we have Two Fang on. So when we shoot once, it's going to be 1 bullet in 3 projectiles. But when Two Fang decides to proc, we are going to have 2 rows of this. I'm trying to, there you go, right there. I'm trying to get the right angle on it. But when you see, when Two Fang does proc, we have 6 projectiles forming here. And the same applies for the ×2 prefix. As you can see, we have a corrosive one here with ×2. Instead of the normal projectiles, we have a 3rd row. It's kind of hard to see. I'll probably slow down the video so you guys can see it. But we're shooting 9 projectiles for the price of 2 bullets, which is really nice. It benefits the damage greatly, but I just want to show you guys that to prove that Two Fang is worth the points. Alright, moving on, we do have 3 points in the big game. This will just double our Hunter skill duration and increase the effects by 30%. 3 points into the most dangerous game. Now, the Hunter kill skill, when we kill a badass, we will get 50% extra gun damage and 20% extra crit damage, and the handling is nice for the Lyuda, but it really doesn't have much recoil. But we are using a Bounty Hunter class mod for this build, so we don't have to kill a badass, we just have to shoot a badass, and we're going to be getting all of our hunt kill skills. Very great combo with this gun. I'll show you why later. 1 point into Galactic Shadow, so we get the 15% extra critical hit damage across the board. A lot of great value for only 1 point. And finally, we get the capstone in the Hunter skill tree, which is Megavore, so we get that 20% chance to hit a critical hit no matter where we hit the enemy. Now, the blue tree would be nice. We might be able to have our Great Horn Skag for the gun damage and damage, or we could boost the Spider and Scorcher up to 30% if we went into the blue tree. But we're getting so many damage benefits from the green tree here because we're not running URAD like my previous builds. So to start it off, we are going to be putting 5 points into Furious Attack. Every time you shoot an enemy, you get a stack of this. It stacks up to 10 times, and each stack is 2% gun damage. plus the 30% per stack along with the big game. 5 points in the self-repairing system for the 30% maximum health and the 1.5% max health regeneration. 5 points in overclock for the 10% extra fire rate, and another 10% on top of that when we hit a reload. Very great for boss kills. 4 out of 5 and eager to impress. Now I only put 4 points here just so we can hit that 1 second mark. Yes, we do have head count, but we want to get our action skill back as much as possible, and we're not going to really be using hidden machine because we have no means of our skag being the targeted person here or going invisible, obviously, so it'd be kind of a waste to put points there. 3 points in the turntail in run, so when we're standing still, we get 25% extra gun damage and 12% extra fire rate. But when we're on the move, we get 17% damage reduction and 0.9% maximum health regeneration.
Walk out the door, you see someone that you know, and they ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
3 points in the turntail in run, so when we're above half health, we get 25% extra gun damage and 10% movement speed. The pet damage is nice, but that's not the reason why we got it. And finally, the Stalker Capstone, the power inside, so every time we activate our action skill, we get 25% bonus damage across the board for 15 seconds, and if we're at maximum health, we have 50% damage for 15 seconds. And I get the question, does the 50% benefit die off once you go below half health? And the answer is no. If you have 100% health and you activate your action skill, the duration of the power inside will still be the 50% damage even if you go down to 2 health. You know what I mean? It's upon cast that determines if you're going to have the 25% or the 50% bonus damage. And for our last 2 points, I put them personally into Persistence Hunter. I like to call these the miscellaneous points. They don't make or break the build. I just like to have the little 8% gun damage, though it's not that big of a deal. You could put it into something like Second Intention if you wanted to, or even into Grim Harvest if you feel like your rack attacks are not doing enough damage. And now as for the action skill setup, we are running rack attack so we can activate our ASEs all the time. And on top of that, we have Flock and Load for 2 additional rack, and we do have Rack Accelerate, so we get an additional charge and 20% faster cooldown rate. And for your pet, of course, we have the one and only Scorch Jr. He's going to be providing us with even more health regeneration and 10% bonus elemental damage. Now over into the Guardian rank. As you can see here, all my Guardian rank perks and my bonus stats are disabled. Fun fact, none of the builds on this channel have ever featured a Guardian rank buff or perk. I don't really like to base my builds around that. I like to base my builds around the actual damage the guns and characters do. I don't want the overpowered perks to interfere with my testing, so that is the purpose of why it is disabled. And over into our Mayhem modifiers. Of course, we are on Mayhem 10, and I have for my easy modifier, we have Speed Demon for the movement speed, Healy Avenger because it's neutral, Ticked Off because we're not using any status effect damage, and Postmortem because sometimes I just get really pissed off. I'm kidding. Postmortem is very annoying to me. Like, you're about to kill an enemy, you barrel stuff him with a shotgun, and Postmortem's in your face, so that's always fun. Now, the gear for this build is pretty dang simple. It's based around the Lyuda, so don't expect a bunch of different gear combos. If you guys are looking for a full build that can kill everything, click in the top right about now. You'll see my brand new U-Rack Flak build. That's pretty basically anything that build could handle in the game, but this is for the people that only want to use the Lyuda and have a bunch of fun with it. But if this isn't your style, just click in the top right, check out that video. It'll suit all your needs for a flak build. Now, I have to go over this first. I have to go over the magazine size and the prefixes for Lyudas. Most Lyudas you will see will have a magazine size of 11 for maximum damage, because that's what people always farmed for. People thought max damage, low mag is the best thing for the Lyuda, but it's not. Especially with how ammo hungry it is. On flak, you want to go for maximum magazine size, but you still want to have some damage. So you are sacrificing about 200 damage for having a 22 mag, but you're going to be able to put out more bullets faster than if you had an 11 mag, if that makes sense. You're going to be reloading less, you're going to be doing more damage, and you're going to be able to put off more damage because, like I said, you're reloading less. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean you should only use 22 mag and above? No. If you have an 11 mag and that's all you have, you can make it work. You can make it work with magazine size improvements. You can make it work with magazine size on class mods, any of that type of stuff. But another thing I want to touch up on is the ×2 prefix on the Lyuda. It's not the greatest. It's definitely worse in my opinion, but for certain things it's better. It's better for like quick boss burst damage, but for general mobbing this is terrible. Do not use the ×2 Lyuda for mobbing. You're going to run out of ammo so much that it's probably going to piss you off. And this is the thing here. I have a ×2 Lyuda, and look how quick this thing goes through ammo. It's still quite a few shots, but it goes through ammo pretty quickly compared to our ×1 Lyuda, which has a smaller magazine. And as you see, we put off a lot more bullets, and we're not even using leave no trace to get our bullets back in the magazine. But I just wanted to go over those two things because when you find the Lyuda you need, those are two very important things that you should look out for. And in terms of anointments, you want to look for enemies damaged by rack attack. This anointment is good. It's not always consistent because your rack attacks are kind of stupid sometimes, but it's a good anointment. But you really want to look for on action skill and weapon damage. That is basically your go-to here. And element doesn't really matter because we're using so many ASEs that the element of the gun itself isn't going to be a big factor in any build. Now, as for the shields, I do have an old god in every element for the Lyudas, so you're going to be getting that 20% bonus elemental damage for the preferred element that you're fighting. Just like I said, the element of the gun itself does not matter. Just get yourself a good anointed Lyuda with a decent mag size. I do have that in every single element, and we do have a one-shotter. I did some testing with this, and it's not really the best. I've seen a lot better options out there, but it just doesn't recharge fast enough to benefit the Lyuda greatly. You're getting more damage out of the old god, surprisingly. As for your grenades, I do have grenades with different ASEs, so you guys can mix and match your ASEs and do the maximum amount of damage. But I prefer to have this Radiation Hunter-Seeker on at all times. It's a low-level Hunter-Seeker. It's not going to be killing a lot of enemies, and it has the splits into ×3 prefix, so it's the max Hunter-Seekers you can get out there. They are going to proc Megavore, and indirectly, Megavore is going to help proc all your hunt kill skills because we are using a Bounty Hunter class mod. We have that 3% chance to activate all of our hunt kill skills when we deal gun damage, and the Hunter Seekers count as gun damage. Sorry, that was kind of a mouthful. Now, in terms for the rolls on my Bounty Hunter, I have weapon damage, weapon crit, and SMG. The SMG is basically useless, but they don't have Vladoff crit, they don't have sniper crit in specifically. A god roll class mod would be sniper rifle damage, crit damage, and weapon damage, but I am unfortunately not that lucky, so I just went with weapon damage and crit damage. But I do have one over here that is weapon damage and magazine size, so if you guys want to have a little bit more magazine size at the sacrifice of crit damage, it is there for you guys. All these other class mods you could ignore, they're going to be out of the save file. I might leave in the stack bot though, if you guys want to switch over to the fadeaway setup. And as for the Relic, a lot of DLC owners are going to be pretty obvious here. It's going to be magazine size and fire rate on the Pearl. It's going to help out the Lyuda in many ways. If you don't know how the Pearl works, every time you hit an enemy, you get 1% extra gun damage. But once you hit him 15 times, you get an additional 90%. To keep these stacks up, just basically keep doing damage and you'll always have it active. But we do have a cut purse launchpad here because this is a very ammo-hungry sniper. And the way the launchpad works, all you have to do is when you have it equipped, my bad. Once you have it equipped, you jump from a high place and you slam, and all these rockets will home in on enemies, and they will refill your ammo back to your Lyuda, which is really nice. And I got this to roll with a magazine size as well, so it's going to help you guys out tremendously with ammo. But as for the other gear, I just threw in some Plague Bearers just for the fun of it, so you guys can get second wins, because I don't play with Guardian rank, so I can't really aim in with the Lyuda to get second wins, but I have all these Plague Bearers for you guys to do so. But let's get into a little bit of gameplay so you guys can see the power of this build. Now we are on a Thenis, so I'm going to go for Radiation and a Shock Anoints. Now this build doesn't really suffer from any in specific tankiness, but if you have on action skill start shields like a stopgap or something like that gives you immunity, go for it. You're going to be missing out on the 20% extra damage, but it's not really a big deal for the amount of survivability you're going to get. I just don't like to put that type of stuff in my builds because I don't want it to rely on that. I want people to have accessible builds to where they don't have to farm for hours, you know what I mean? But that is always an option for you guys if you want a little bit more tankiness in this build. As you can see here, we are melting through Athenas, and we're using a Fire Lyuda. But then again, Athenas is Athenas, but I like to use Athenas for all my testing purposes. I like to see basically how my guns perform in Athenas. And this sniper really reminds me of the Sandhawk. It's very ammo hungry, but the damage kind of makes up for it. I made a Sandhawk build a long time ago, and this is what it reminds me of. It reminds me of a more accurate Sandhawk, and I completely love it. It's a fun sniper. I'm glad to see it actually be viable in a build. But as you can see, after the first area, we are only down to like 2 magazines. So like I said, it is very ammo hungry. But I guess it is a good time to show off the cut purse launchpad, so let's put that on real quick.
It's time to fight.
And we're going to go into here and we're just going to stomp and see if our ammo goes up. We might have to stomp twice, I don't know. We're at 41 in the reserve. Do another homing. And we're at 146 in the reserve. I think that will get us full. Alright, we are all good. We have our ammo back after a few stomps. Very easy thing to do. And we're back into killing things like nothing ever happened. Now when it comes to like heavyweights, you want to aim for that thing on their back, obviously, because that's their crit spot. But you guys already see that this can do plenty damage for Athena, so let's go take on a boss like Captain Trant, because I do not think I put him in the intro sequence thingamabobber. Okay, sorry. I just had to see what it did to Chupacabra. We're going to Tron, don't worry. And the thing about the Lyuda, it's been one of my favorite snipers in the Borderlands series. I just like the way it looks. I like the way it shoots. I like the way it feels. It's a really fun gun overall, and I'm excited because I could almost assure you this gun will get future patches. This gun will do more damage in the future. I could almost guarantee you that. Now we're at Trant. Let's throw some Hunter Seekers. So you can see in the bottom left, we're going to be getting stacks of all of our hunt kill skills. And now this has enemies damaged by rack attack, so let's damage him with rack attack and do this. And we're just going to shoot him in the front. We're not going to shoot him in the back. Nothing special here. In one clip, he's almost dead. Do another rack attack, and he is done. Very, very simple. And we didn't even try to go for his back crit spot. We simply shot him in the front, and he went down pretty dang quickly. Okay, I want to show you guys this one time before I end the video, the little one clip on Grave Ward. So we're going to jump down here, throw our Hunter Seeker Grenade so we can get our Hunter Kill skills activated. We already have Fierce Attack stacked up. There's Most Dangerous Game. There's Interplanetary Soccer at 3 stacks. We're going to rack attack and try our best to get the one clip here. Hopefully, Leave No Trace helps us out. Leave No Trace? Yes. One clip on Grave Ward, just like before. Man, that feels so good to do again. It's awesome. It's awesome to see the Lyuda do this, and I'm glad I could share this build with you guys. And if you guys want to download this PC save file, link will be in the description below for all you PC players. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like on it. Subscribe if you're new and you want to join the Flag Pack. And make sure you join that Flag Pack Discord. It will be in the link in the description below, right next to the save file. But you guys have a terrific day. Stay safe during these times. It's a crazy world. And me and Scorch Jr. over here will see you guys later.